Hey, welcome to Cameras and Coffee. This video is about color space, and it's kind of a hot topic. For Panasonic users, at least, there's a huge discussion about cine-D versus natural versus, V-log. Today we're just going to look at cine-D and natural. Right now, this is the natural color profile with the identical settings that I had on a previous video that I shot indoors. Obviously, this is an outdoor one. I use the natural color profile because I feel it gets me close to where I like my colors in my videos. So I don't have to edit them all day and fiddle with the colors and white balance and I got to do that and lift that guy and, dig into the shadows, I don't have to do all that stuff. It pretty much gets me where I want to be, and I can look at it and do some minor tweaks and I'm ready to go. Some people like to massage their footage a little bit more, and like you heard me bark about on a previous video, cine-D, man, that's the one that fucking flies. There are a lot of photographers that use Cinelike D, and there are a lot of photographers that use natural. And either one of those is not wrong or right. This profile right here happens to be natural and the one I used most of the time. But I want to show you the difference between natural mode, which is this mode, versus Cinelike D, which is another popular mode and people are going crazy about. And the reason they like cine-D so much is because they say it's more flat. And the guys that get the Panasonic cameras, oh my gosh, I got my GH5, I'm going to put it on cine-D, and then I'm going to go through the profiles and set everything to -5, shut it all off. I don't need it. It's going to really help me dig into the shadows. Yeah, it's going to be unbelievable. Well, that's great. And a lot of people do that. I mean, as you know, there are countless videos on YouTube of people that shoot the very same way. Get the cameras, shut everything off, and then when they bring it back in the post, they add it all back, especially the sharpness. Oh man, don't mess with your sharpness. Leave it alone. You don't need to do that. You're going to add it back later anyway. Hollywood doesn't make movies that are not sharp. No one on YouTube makes movies that are not sharp. Just leave your sharpness alone. You don't need to turn it off. You don't. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to stay on topic. This is natural mode right now. Okay? I'm going to switch to Cinelike D now. This is the Cinelike D profile. What do you think? Some people complain about skin tones being a little bit washy. Sometimes people say, oh my gosh, it's so hard to correct. I can't get my face tones right. Some people. Some people says it's too contrasty and there's not enough contrast or definition in the shadows because they look all lifted. Well, I've heard that too. And like I said in part 1, you don't have to use one color profile for everything. You can mix it up. You should mix it up. Do something different. Do something different than the next guy or the other guy that's doing, this is how you set your camera up. Otherwise, you shouldn't even have it. Basically, a lot of the videos I see is like, oh my gosh, why bother even shooting videos if you're not shooting it in Cinelike D with everything shut off? You might as well just shoot with your iPhone. That's sort of the takeaway from some of these videos. And none of that's nonsense, Don't follow the masses. I got a GH5 and my settings are all -5, so that's going to make me, I'm ready to shoot, Come on. Grab your camera. Stop worrying about that nonsense. Go out and be creative. Set your profiles however you like. You know, if you like the way it looks, that's great. How do my face tones look? Okay. How does everything back there look? Behind me? How does the foliage and trees and some of these, you know, some people feel like Cinelike D is gonna somehow magically allow them to dig into the shadows, you know. Yeah, it's gonna be better. You know, I'm gonna be able to dig into the shadows and do something with them. Okay, that's cool. You can dig into the shadows of any color profile, honestly. Anyway, this profile is Cinelike D. This is back to natural mode. I think the colors actually look better right here. And the reason I shoot in natural mode is because I feel that I don't have to do as much work in post. I don't have to go through, I mean, everyone's got, oh yeah, I got my face tone color correction shortcut on Premiere or whatever it is, you know, or DaVinci. I can just click 2 buttons and it's going to be perfect. That's great. Good for you. Some people don't. Some people don't have shortcuts for, you know, their quick fix skin tone profile, you know what I mean? For me, I don't have a shortcut because every shooting scenario is different. Every scene is different. Open shade, midday sun, whatever it is. So I do all of it manually, just like everybody else, just like most people. Cinelike D does give you a flatter profile. It does. I like the colors on natural better. This is the natural mode that I'm using right now. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope you learned something. I hope you dive into your menus, explore your color profiles, make those adjustments, crank up the saturation, you know, contrast, all that stuff. There's so many options out there, and it's easy to get lured into trends of, oh yeah, you know, I got Cinelike D and I'm gonna, you know, take everything down to -5 or whatever. I've said that 100 times. Yeah, I know. But that's what people do. And they do that for a lot of profiles, and sometimes they don't do it for any of them. And at the end of the day, are you really gonna see the difference? Maybe a little bit. Adjust it the way you like it. You don't have to listen to what the guy that's got 5 million subscribers on YouTube has. You know, some of these guys shoot with their iPhones or GoPros. Thanks for joining me today. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time.